Hey you guys, hi, welcome to Mr. Stamping. I am Brenda Killard. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in North Central Minnesota, and I come to you live the second Wednesday of each month with mystery stamping. So I am recording tonight because I'm not seeing people hopping on, so I don't know if there was a failure in my communication. People are just busy, so let's get started. All right, I'm going to switch you down from my Stampin' Studio to my workstation. There we go. Okay, I'm going to take this out. I'm going to bring in a full sheet, 8.5 by 11 of cardstock. This is the basic white cardstock. And is what I'm going to do is just extend the cutting arm on my trimmer because I need to cut this at 7 inches by 6.25. When you have a little bit left over, that's okay. I want it 7. Let's make sure I've got this right. 7, yep, by 6.25. All right, so you have scrap pieces that look like, all right, here we go. Then we're going to score this at 1.25 and 3.5, and that's on the 7-inch side. All right, so now we have a card base, and um, this particular layout makes 12 of the mini slimline cards. So you'll want to do that 11 more times. All right. And then you're going to need to pick out 3 12 by 12 sheets of designer series paper. And as I posted today, I am trying to use up my flowering zinnia paper. I feel like the flowering season is over in Minnesota, or on its way out anyway. So I wanted to use up my paper. So is what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to stack up these 3 sheets. The first cut I make is going to be at 3.25. So I'm going to cut. And then for this, I'm going to cut them at 6 inches. Okay. I'm going to do that same cut again. I've got my 3 pieces stacked on top of each other. And I'm going to cut again at 3.25, I should say. Cut. And then I'm going to turn it and cut it at 6 inches. Okay. Now my next cut is going to be 1 inch, and I'm going to do that twice. So 1 inch. I just want to get them stacked nicely. So 1 inch. I'm going to turn, and I'm going to cut that at 6 inches. Let that goes. One more time. 1 inch. Inches. Goes up. And now these last are going to be at 1 3/4. So 1 3/4 and cut. I'm going to turn this one and cut it at 6. And remember, these are 3 feet of 12 by 12. So then I've got those, and let's cut this at 6 inches. All right, there we go. So for cutting, that should be all. Now, for the mini slim lines, which these are, and the way that I've cut this designer series paper, we have enough to make 12 cards. Mini slim lines, I like to use, I get these from the dollar store. They're the number 6 3/4 white envelopes, and they fit these mini slim lines perfectly. Okay, so let's bring in our 12 card bases. And these are Z folds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this back. I want to make sure that my edges line up nicely, which they do. Give it a fold. And then I'm going to fold it at that 3.5 inch core line and just give it a good crease again. All right. So now when we start layering our designer series papers, and we're just going to do one of each. Okay. So they'll look like this. Okay. And I think we should have 2 of each of these, but we'll find out here in just a moment. So I'm going to score and bone fold. And now I can do my pink. And I'm going to want a green and a solid piece of the color. So there's that. And now let's get our next one. So this one, we're going to fold. And I'm going to fold again at the 3.5. And now for this one, because we've got the solid flowers and the green on top. This one we want the pink strip. We can do a flower back here and one of the greens on the inside. So now I think is what's going to happen. We've used the combination completely here. So we're going to end up with 4 of these, 4 of these, and 4 of these, meaning this colored paper layout. So let's work with these 3. I'm just going to set the extra pieces off to the side with our other, so 9 other card bases. And I'll show you how these go together. They're super cool. And I've got a bunch of samples to show you. I thought it was really a fun layout. Let me get some of my stamp and seal. I'm just going to give myself a little bit here, here. And we're going to adhere that down on this piece. And just what I'm going to do is just do equal borders at the top, the side, and the bottom. Okay. Now on this piece, I can put adhesive and I can just glue that back. And then on this piece, I like to use liquid glue for this narrow piece. I'm going to put some glue right up at the top, down the middle, and then make sure that I get those edges. But I'm going to just then center that on my piece. And I like it right there. And now for the inside, I can use my stamp and seal again. so hard to cover up these pretty flowers, but it is worth it. These turn out super, super cute. And I already see that I can bring my ink and my sentiment stamp set in. That's all right. We'll grab it here. It'll all be good. Okay. So here's our card base. Let's get these others glued down too. Oh my gosh, you guys. Lights out in my stamping studio. Let's see what's happening. Give me just a second. That's exciting. Really exciting. And I'm just going to grab some sentiments here for us. I think they're great. All right. You know, it's always exciting when you're live. I've had a couple. My coffee and treat Brenda on Saturday was exciting, and now this one is too. Lights out. I'm gonna glue that down. I'm gonna keep it on this edge, glue it down, add yeah, a little bit of adhesive there that I don't want. Add my liquid glue. And glue it down. These zinnias are so pretty. And I love the colors in this paper. Now I can go back to, I just have this little spot on my cardstock. They didn't care. Isn't this pattern cute too? I did a bunch of one feet wonders with a lot. Okay, so there's our inside. So there's our sequence for, our pattern paper number 2. And then this is the third layout. So I'm going to add adhesive. Put that right down here again. I'm matching up the bottom, the left edge, adding Stampin' Seal to the outside flap and just gluing that back. I don't think I really have to worry about that mark because I feel like it'll be covered with paper, but all right, I'm just going to lay that down here. That moved in so that all 4 borders are equal. And now we can do our beautiful floral vignette. Great, John. Great. Time to decorate. So we've got tree layouts like this. And like I said, you'll have 4 of each of these. If you cut your papers like I showed you in the beginning of this video, you'll have enough papers to do 12 of these slimline cards. So now I have decided to use my 2 3/8 inch circle punch. You'll find this for sale on or in the online exclusive. And I've also decided to use this set called the Everyday Details Guide. These also are found in the online exclusive. I've used the second to the largest rectangle, and I used the third to the large, or third from the smallest. So second to the largest die to do our circles. And these line up beautifully. So here's our die. Here's our 2 3/8 inch circle. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp these with a sentiment for the outside of our set. And I think we're going to try this. I think this one is a little bit too big. So let me find a sentiment in here that's going to just fit in there the way I would like. And I'm going to go with this Hello Friend. I need a little block from for my stamp. This is a red rubber, and this comes from the stamp set called Hope You Know. This is in our annual catalog. 9 stamps, 9 sentiments, and it's called Hope You Know. And again, red rubber with an acrylic block. And I'm going to bring in some berry burst ink. And on these, I just want to stamp lower and to the right. Okay, so there's our sentiment. And then on the inside, I'm going to take the 3/8" circle punch. So I have 3 of those ready to go here, and this is going to be our inside. So it's going to say, hello, friend, and then it's going to say, thinking of you today. So let's bring in our berry burst again, and I'm just going to stamp up at the top, because then that will give me a little bit of room to sign my name or to write a little message. All right, so here we go. I'm going to take this. I'm only going to put adhesive on the left side of my circle. I'm going to just center that up on the front of my card, like that. And then on the inside, I'm going to add adhesive to the entire back. I'm going to put this in so that my sentiment is correct, and then I can just lay it down, and it gives me just a minute. If we don't press, I can line this up so that my sentiment is straight on the inside, and yet it hides behind my diagram. Nice, right? So then from the paper, I start to cut a bunch of the zinnias, and is what I want to do with these is just add some dimensionals. And I think that will look really beautiful on there. I want to prop that up just a little bit. Take the backing off. And just add that onto my card, but I don't want the leaves to overlap. So now we have, hello friend, thinking of you today. Cute, right? I'm going to get some, we still have some embellishments to do on those. And each one of those will look different. I'm going to, again, just put adhesive on the left side of my circle, center it, and adhere it down. I'm going to grab another one of my fussy cut zinnias, and I'll add some dimensionals. Take my paper backing off, and let's just position that here on our do one more stamp and dimensional. I wanna stick back behind the second flower on this one so that it stays down. So there's our second, and let's do that same thing. The top one only gets adhesive on the left side. Center it. Oh, I forgot to put my inside sentiment on this. Got ahead of myself. Have that pretty flower, and you know what happens then. I can set it down lightly. It gives me just a minute to get my sentiment straight. I have a little bit of adhesive that I don't like. There we go. And now that's lined up again, hiding underneath. We're just going to move it in just a little bit because I felt like that bottom edge was sticking out. Okay. And now for this one, let's flip it and put our adhesive. And then I can just line it up on here. I'm going to lay it down lightly. My sentiment is not straight, so that gives me just that quick bit of time to get my sentiment straight. Close it, make sure that it's hiding. I do want to move it up just a touch. Okay, perfect. Great, let's find a flower for that one too. Maybe let's do one of these. Yeah, that'll be really pretty on there. I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of this. We're just going to leave those curly leaves or those long spidery leaves sticking out. But I'm going to put it on here just like so. I can still put one more dimensional back behind to help hold it in place. All right. So now I've got these flowers cut out because remember the way we cut the 3 sheets of designer series paper, you're going to get 12. It yields 12 mini slimline cards. Let me grab some embellishment. And we'll get those embellished. I cannot wait. I do think some of the embellishments that I think would look really, really good with this are, I don't know if you guys are familiar. These are online incentive or online exclusives. They're called the loose frosted dot. And I feel like they match this paper beautifully. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put one dot of blue over here because these are not adhesive back. And I'm going to put a couple right here. Let me get my take your pick tool. I'm going to pick up and then just lay down. And I feel like the yellow color in here it matches the centers of those zinnias just perfectly. So there's my embellished card, and then on the inside it says thinking of you too. Great. Let's embellish this one. Only this time use some pink. I'm going to do 2 drops there and 1 down here. We're going to grab a pink blue stick. Do 1 there. I'll try to find a bigger pink. There we go. I love pink. I think pink is one of those colors, either you love it or you don't. But so there's my embellished card. And let's do number 3. And this time we'll use the yellow again. I like that yellow too. All right, pick it up, tap it down. Let's do a small one. Can't get it. There. Got it. There we go. There's a little. And let's find like a medium size. Okay. So there's the 3 layouts. And like I said, you'll have 4 of these, 4 of these, and 4 of these. You can always change up the sentiments to be whatever you want on each set of 3. So if you wanted to make an assortment of cards, you could certainly do that. You could have birthday, thinking of you, and the date even. Let's show you then these envelopes. Like I said, they're the number 6 3/4 white envelopes. I get them at the at the dollar store. They work amazing for these mini slim lines. I want to be careful because my glue is still drying on my glue dots, but I just wanted to show you how perfectly these cards fit in the mini slim line. So I hope you give this layout a try. Thank you to Kathy Al for the inspiration on the layout for cutting these cards. It's a great way to make or to build up your stash if you're a little short on cards and you have 3 sheets of designer series paper. Go for it. Cut it, make 12 mini slimline cards, and you'll be stocked up for all occasions. All right, you guys, I'm going to switch back up to my face cam. Thank you so much. I'm sorry that I've been inconsistent with my mystery stamping, but I'm back second Wednesday of every month. So I hope you'll join me next month. Bye for now.